temporarily blinded me.
What you mean temporarily? Bitch, you blind forever.
What is up, chocolatiers? You might be wondering, if you are a fan of the channel, what's going on? A video game review? That doesn't really happen often anymore. A big part of that, if you are not aware, if you are not a fan of the channel, if you're new here, I like to review stuff, or at least based on my YouTube algorithm. I've noticed that if I cover something within like the first couple days, like a movie release, something like that, good. Let's say, for example, today, there's a new movie with Kevin James and Alan Richardson on Amazon Prime called Playdate. If I wait 2 weeks and review that, they're not going to push my video. And so the problem with a lot of video games are, especially with my timeline of me being in school and, you know, work and this and that, whatever, I don't have free time like these streamers or other people, this and that, whatever. So for example, at the time of me recording this, the episodes have been up for about 8-9 hours, right? The final episode of Dispatch. And I just don't have time like that. Like, I really don't right now. Hopefully next year to open up a little bit more. But I'm like, even like Death Stranding 2, I was going to review that. Love that game. Same with Ghost Yote, whatever, this and that. But like Ghost Yote came out like over a month ago now. And I'm still only on the second dude. And I'm 30 hours in. I'm just doing everything, exploring, taking my time. But it's one of those things where it's like, at the end of the year, I'll just cover all my games, top 10 lists, whatever, this and that, all the games I played. And so, yeah. But Dispatch came around. And not only did it blow me and everybody else out of the water, but it's episodic. So guess what? Every week I just had to sit down for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And that was it. And that's about how many times, I mean, I game every time I sit down for a session, about an hour or two, something like that. So every Wednesday, get off work, and that's what I would do. And so, yeah, for once, we've completed something on time. So I want to talk about this game because I really, really love it. And so, without further ado, let's get into this.
Oh, come on. You've stolen things too.
What? You racist motherfucker. I never stole a fucking thing in my entire fucking life.
Alrighty, so Dispatch comes from Ad Hoc Studio, a new team made up from former Telltale Games veterans, the people who brought us Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, which is my personal favorite, and Back to the Future, and many others. And all those amazing point-and-click choice-driven stories, as I like to call them. And this time they've teamed up with Critical Role to give us something completely new, a superhero workplace comedy video game that was original premise by them. And so you play as Aaron Paul's character, Robert Robertson, a second-generation superhero living in, actually no, he's third-generation superhero, living in the shadow of his father and grandfather, both of whom died in the suit. After a messy encounter with his old nemesis Shroud goes wrong, he loses everything, both his suit, his little power thing that powers his suit, and kind of his purpose. That's when we enter Blonde Blazer, another hero who recruits him to a new gig, dispatching a team of reformed supervillains. So think of it like a call center for heroes, except for co-workers used to rob banks and destroy cities, stuff like that. And it really worked for me. Now, if you've never played or if you ever played a Telltale game before, then you kind of know the formula. You talk, walk, make choices, repeat. Dispatch takes that and really refines it, and it cuts out that filler, which is what I really love about this so much, because there's no mindless walking around, clicking on coffee mugs just to trigger the next dialogue. If you're not dispatching missions, then you're making decisions, and that's kind of it. Every scene really matters. It feels tight, focused, and genuinely interactive. And the dispatch mechanic itself is surprisingly addictive. You get calls from citizens, like a cat stuck in a tree or a demon's loose downtown, and you assign the right ex-villain for the job. And each team member has different cooldown mechanics and abilities, so you have to really think strategically. It scratches that management itch while still, you know, keeping the narrative front and center. And I will be honest, if Ad Hoc ever made that Dispatch minigame as a standalone mobile app, I would probably play it non-stop. I don't play mobile games, but if it was that, I definitely would. Now, the story of Dispatch's writing is very razor sharp. It's both funny, emotional, and full of heart. It plays out like a superhero TV show, which makes sense because the devs originally did want it to be one, but they just couldn't get the funds for it. And the dialogue feels alive, and the world feels very lived in. There's office banter, workplace politics, and yes, romantic subplots. I see you boys out there. that Invisigal, that blonde blazer, hey, or you can do nobody at all. And those relationships actually do matter, and they change who's there in key scenes. For example, like who you dance with at a party, who something happens in the finale, for example. And you'll also make bigger moral choices, like which teammate to recruit. And there's a segment where you can recruit up to one person after you fire somebody else, and it does kind of ripple through the story in satisfying ways, because when you dispatch these heroes, you're either going to have one or the other that you pick.
Do you like Sour Patch Kids?
I fucking love Sour Patch Kids.
And the voice acting, I feel like, is very phenomenal. Aaron Paul is at the top of his game here. Easily his best voice role since BoJack Horseman or even Invincible recently. He doesn't just read lines, he acts through them. He makes his character feel very real. He's a broken human trying to rebuild. Laura Bailey is wonderful as Invisigal. She brings her usual warmth and range, and Matt Mercer in the finale kills it as Shroud. Then there's the wild card. You got streamers like Moist Critical, Alana Pierce, Jacksepticeye, and even Young Gravy, which is so funny, in the mix, and they are all fantastic. None of it feels very forced or influencer bait. They actually do fit their roles. And if I had to nitpick, I'd say that a few episodes are really too short. Some, especially towards the beginning, are like 30-something minutes or less. And when you're this hooked, I feel like that's very brutal, because you are getting 2 episodes every week. And while the dispatching and choices are awesome, I do wish that there were more quick time events or some higher stake moments where failure actually does matter. And it's pretty forgiving, maybe a little too much so. And I will admit, replayability is kind of limited, because mostly you're just kind of seeing that alternate path, because a lot of it is really just 2 choices if you want that platinum trophy. So like, choose Blonde Blazer, okay, on the next playthrough, choose Invisigal, whatever this and that. But the finale is very perfect. You got 2 major decisions, actually probably some more that I can think of, and it leaves you thinking. It's very emotional. It's nails that Telltale style gut punch ending, and it's the kind that sticks with you. Definitely wanting a season 2, which they did loosely confirm. I was watching Friends Per Second the other day, and they were interviewing them, and I was getting a little giddy out there. I was getting a little excited.
On work here, are you guys already thinking about your next project? You got something in the works, or what?
Yeah, we have an announced project with Critical Role, a partner of ours. But I also think that there's probably, we're gonna have to at least think about season 2 now. Like, and
Nice,
that was a question mark 3 weeks ago. So so that's very, very cool. It's a very cool problem to have.
And even though the game doesn't give you like 1,000 different options, when I did finish it, I immediately did want to start again to see what happens if you decide to fire Sonar instead of Coop, or Romance Blonde Blazer instead of Invisigal. It's really that good, and you do want to replay it. This patch feels like a return to form for this genre, and it's funny, heartfelt, cinematic, and smart. It's everything I really loved about both The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us. And since we're probably not going to get The Wolf Among Us 2, this is what you kind of want. It's got an amazing cast, a clever gameplay hook, and a story that actually has something to say, has something to do, and a story that's written well. So with that, I'm going to give Dispatch a 9.5 out of 10. It is a wonderful, wonderful game. You don't listen to the haters out there. It's also part of the reason why I hardly review games, even if I was to beat one. Which, quick little story time for you. I reviewed Doom Eternal earlier this year, because I actually beat it like within like a week. That's very short. And as much as I loved it, I just didn't love it as much as, 2016 or Eternal or whatever this and that. My opinion. And part of that was that the story just wasn't hitting for me this time around, because there's a lot of voice acting, a lot of different people in the mix compared to other Doom games or whatever. And I was like, oh, it's fine. You would have thought I shot these people's dogs. I gave this game an 8.5. They were here. They're like, what are you talking about? This is a master. And I'm like, dude, 8.5 is pretty good. Gamers on a different level. I consider myself a gamer. Look, oh shit. I consider myself a gamer, but at least I try to act fucking normal. Like, if you tell me right now, like, one of my favorite games this year is what is it? God, I'm blanking. Expedition 33, and also did finish Metaphor Fantasia, and I didn't get to finish it last year. But if you told me that you didn't like those games, okay, I still like them. You liking or does nothing for me. So I just don't understand why people get so offended. But That actually leads to my score on this, though. I think this game is fantastic. It's amazing. Do not let people ruin your fun, because I saw a bunch of that on Twitter today, which it is Twitter. It's hateful, it's spiteful, it's an awful platform. But like people were like, huh, it's not really a game. Bitch, if I'm clicking a few buttons, it counts. Okay, that mini game alone, it counts. It counts. I don't care, like, if it doesn't have like 1,000, it's a game. It's a game. It's very story heavy, very story focused. There's a lot of cutscenes, clearly this and that, whatever. But it's a game. Don't let somebody tell you that if it's your game of the year, don't let somebody tell you it's not. Let it be yours. Have your opinion. Don't let me tell you what your opinion is. If you hate this game, cool. Don't let me tell you that. I'm just here to talk about this patch. Really loved it, so I want to hear some thoughts in the comments down below. Comment down below who you picked in Visigal, Blonde Blazer. I'm trying to hear from the dogs out there. Who'd you pick? Did you do the wild card choice? Did you say nobody? What donut did you pick? Did you go Glaze? Did you go the other two? I don't even remember. I just picked, that's the one I like. Yeah, right, Plain Jane. I got the trophy for that shit. And then, yeah, just let me know also who your favorite hero was. Actually, that's something I'm very curious to see. Was it Mechaman? Was it Sonar, Coop? Like, who was your favorite? And with that, I will catch you guys on the next one.
I'll let you know if I work it out. Get it? I'm explaining the joke. What the fuck?
Decent reflexes.
Hey,